All right, guys, I'm going to try to do a little more of posting some things on a daily basis as I can. I am going to go back through the notes that we took in class today. This will be great for anybody who wasn't here. Do a few of the problems that you had in that you were supposed to finish for homework tonight. And so let's quickly get going. So we talked about sales tax. I'm just going to quickly go through these two examples, and then I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to do a few problems that you had for homework. I thought I would surprise you with a little bit of added help. We're going to see if I can make it through this video without making a mistake and not using one of my erasable pens. I probably can't. So let's just see. If I hit this, I'm trying to do this with my iPad. So in comparison to the previous videos, let me know what you think is better, the iPad or my iPhone. Which one do you like better? I'm not even going to try it. Let's just use my handy dandy pencil. All right, so here we go. This pencil's about had it. I think it's going to need to go to the pencil graveyard. All right, so we're going to be setting up a proportion, and what is the total cost of a shirt that has a cost of $30 and an 8% sales tax? Well, right up here, let's go ahead and take a few notes and talk about that proportion that we're going to be using. All right, I've got to get a different pencil. Boom. I have a Gracious Plenty. These are my favorites. Set up that proportion. This is going to be using our percent proportion, and you've done this before. You did this in 6th grade last year. So everything on this side is going to be money, and everything over here is a percent. This 100 right here is locked in. It will always be 100 right there because everything is going to be out of 100%. We're still going to be looking at part over whole, which is what you did last year. But we're going to be doing it from a different lens. We're going to be looking at, we're going to use some different vocabulary here. Our part, when we're doing what we're doing right now, is going to be basic tax, tips, fees, and commission. Basic tax, tips, fees, and commission. O-N. Okay, and down here, this would be your subtotal. So whatever the subtotal is, whatever your bill is, the subtotal or the bill that you have before tax. So if we take that and come down here, so it says set up a proportion. So our proportion is going to be, we have a shirt that costs $30, so that's going to be our subtotal. We have 8% tax, and that 100 is always there. So we're trying to find the tax. How much tax did we have to pay on this shirt? So if we come right over here, we're going to solve. 100 times X is 100X. 30 times 8 is 240. Divide both sides by 100. And X is going to equal $2.40. Now, don't forget that we always have to make this look like money. This is the tax. This is the tax only. This is just your tax. Now we've got to take what we originally put right here, that $30, that subtotal of $30, plus the $2.40 tax, and that's how we get our total of $32.40. Now, don't forget that when $30 is written, it's $30 this way. So those decimals have to line up when you're adding. But, of course, you'll be putting that in the calculator, so it won't be that big of a deal. So then we're going to do our tip. So we have a meal that costs $30. We're wanting to know what is the tip. We're paying 20%, okay? And somebody asked me today, if we're putting the tip right there, why are we looking for the tip? Well, what we're doing is we're trying to figure out, okay, if they say that you're going to pay a 20% tip, that doesn't help me. I need to know how much money is going to come out of my bank account. What is the dollar amount? That's why I said this is dollars, this is percents. 20% tip is how much money. So that's what we're trying to find. How much money is 20%, is a 20% tip? Okay? So now our proportion is, we're going to cross multiply and we get 100x equals 600. Divide both sides by 100. And x is going to equal $6. We take our subtotal, the amount of our meal, $30, plus the $6 that we just found. This is our tip. This is our tip. And we add those and we get $36. $36. So that's basic taxes and tips. So let's look at some of these that you had for homework. All right. An item costs $45 with 8% tax. So we draw our amount. Our total amount, what we're spending, is $45. We're 8% tax. That is all. How much is the tax? So we don't know that. So 100 times x is 100x. 45 times 8 is 360. Divide both sides by 100. And x is going to equal $3.60. Now, this question, and this question go together. Now that it costs $45 with 8% tax, what is the total cost? So all we're doing here is we're not need another bridge map. We're just going to come over here and we're going to take that $45, add that $3.60 to it. And so our total amount that we spend is $48.60. All right. So let's look at number 5. Let's look at number 5. A meal costs $50 with 8% tax. What would the total cost of the meal be without a tip? All right, so let's find the cost of our meal just with the tax. So 8%, cross multiply 100, x equals 50 times 8, that's 400. Yep, I'm just making sure I don't rely on my mashed potato brain this late in the day. And x is going to equal $4. Now look what this one says. A meal that costs $50 with 20% tip and an 8% tax. What would the total cost of the meal be, including tax and tip? Well, we've already figured the tax over here. So now let's figure the tip. So now this is our tax. So 100x equals, that's 1,000. I think 20 times 50. Yep, just making sure. And x is going to equal $10. This is our tip. That's our tip. Okay? We want to know now how much is the meal in all. If I pay tax, tip, everything. So we're going to take that $50. We're going to plus our tax, which is $4, plus our tip, which is $10. And we add that. And $64. $64 is the total cost of the meal with tax and tip. Okay? All right. One more. Let me see. We're just going to do number 7. When shopping for school supplies, Frank purchases 3 spirals for $1, 2 packs of pencils for $1.50, and 1 bag of colored pencils for, that's supposed to be pack, of colored pencils for $6.50. Frank pays for his supplies with $20 in cash. If there was an 8% tax, how much change would he receive? All right, so he's getting 3 spirals for $1. I'm going to have to angle this. So he's getting 3 spiral notebooks for $1. Yeah, I feel like I need a little bit of color here. Left of my slaw. What we got? 3 spirals for $1. So that's going to be $3 right there. 2 packs of pencils for $1.50. 2 packs of pencils for $1.50. That's another $3. And 1 pack of colored pencils for $6.50. All right, so what has he bought? He has bought $3 worth of spiral notebooks. He has bought $3 worth of pencils. And he's bought 1 pack of colored pencils. So we add that up. It's $12.50. I'm going to just make sure. $6.50 plus 3 plus 3. $12.50. This is your subtotal. Now it says 8% tax. So now we got to do our tax. We're going to put that $12.50 right here. 8% tax over 100. 100x equals $12.50 times 8 is 100. $12.50 times 8 is 100. That's weird. Divide both sides by 100. And x is going to equal $1 in tax. He's going to pay $1 in tax. What does that mean? Well, that means that we've got to take, in all, he's going to pay $12.50. Oh, come on. Plus, that one's out of ink. Sorry, guys. $12.50 plus that $1 he's paying in tax. It's going to be $13.50 is his total amount. $13.50 is the total. All right. Here's where it gets, this is where this unit kicks everybody's behind. And it's because it's all about reading the question. It's all about reading the question. Look at what this question says. How much change will he receive? And I'm going to tell you flat out. When you're having these, $12.50 is going to be an answer choice. $1 is going to be an answer choice. $13.50 is going to be an answer choice because they are going to anticipate you stopping at any one of those points throughout working this problem before you get to the answer, okay? But that's why making sure you recognize where is the question. How much change? Well, it tells us right here he's paying with $20. So he's got $20 and he's going to take $13.50 out of it. So his change is $6.50 change. That is the answer to that question. But look at, there was a good bit of work there that had to go into getting to that answer. And that's the layers that I'm talking about. Multiple layers. And it's nothing, none of that was hard. It's just knowing, okay, I got to find the tax. Well, I got to get my subtotal because it didn't even give us a subtotal straight up. Subtotal, then I got to get my tax. Then I got to add that back together to get my final total. And then I got to see, okay, how much change am I going to get? So, hope this helps. Sorry it's a little late. I'm still going to have to process. So, but hope this helps. And I'll go back and do the rest of these and have you a key for tomorrow. See ya.